Hello there. If you just stumbled across my channel when you clicked on this video, then you should know that I make a bit of VR content on the channel just for fun because I got school and stuff, and it's hard to balance having consistency with making videos. So I usually make like Beat Saber content and stuff, but that stuff always gets copyrighted. But I've made like one super odd video that didn't get copyrighted, but that's it. But that's besides the point. So today's video is gonna be different. What I want to talk about today is the state of VR or virtual reality in 2025, and I want to talk about if it's either dying or is it still expanding and it just needs some time to grow. So I'll be sharing my opinions and others online, and then I'm gonna give like a big conclusion and what my decision will be. But first off, we gotta talk about how VR is such an incredible form of technology and gaming like in the world. It's as of right now, it's still in its early stages, but it can definitely be improved in the future. So the most popular brand of VR right now is Meta or Oculus before Alien Zuck took over, and the company valuation is at a ball-tickling $1.5 trillion. 1.5 trillion. That is so much money. That is about, I want to say, that is about four times Elon Musk's net worth. It's absolutely insane to think about. But recently, a lot of people online are debating if VR is either heading to the grave or it's just the beginning of something special. And to answer that question, we gotta go back a few days. At least I gotta go back a few days because I was on YouTube. I actually found a video called Virtual Reality as We Know It is as we know it is dying by a creator named BMFVR. And he put together a really good and high quality video that you should check out, and I'll actually link the video in the description if you want to see it. And you don't have to see it, but if you want to, it'll be there. So in the video, he actually thinks that VR isn't dying, but he's just stating some points that some people are making, and his main takeaways of the points were why VR might be dying are the layoff of employees, MetaQuest platform in general, it's not that good, the younger generation, which is a big one, the prices of games, Meta's push of Meta Horizon worlds, and the lack of AAA titles. Those were the main takeaways that me personally I took from the video. And first, I'll give my opinion on the situation. I'm split, okay? I think both sides are correct. I think at one hand, VR it's just the beginning, okay? We need to give it some time to grow and let it expand because right now it's 2025. It's only been around for about a decade, and within like a decade or 2 decades at most, it could be so much bigger VR. But at the same time, I haven't been really like hearing people about like how great VR is. Like it's sort of like dusting in the wind. Like, you know what I mean? Like it isn't really being talked about more, and the mostly free games on VR are taking over, and like no more AAA titles are like being played anymore. So about the younger generation part, I completely agree. Okay, the younger generation, we're in Gen Beta right now, but Gen Alpha is the main generation so far. I They're taking over VR. Like all these VR like kids games like Gorilla Tag, that's the only one I know. I don't know any other games, but Gorilla Tag is the biggest out of all of them. And the only reason Gorilla Tag is still around is because the younger generation is playing it. And even though Gorilla Tag is a free game, they make so much money off cosmetics. I think they made like around $100 million last year. I believe. I'm not so sure, but they made 100 million off a free game, bro. That like for a game that's not been around for a while, that's crazy. And that's why like most of these AAA titles are dying. Like they're not being as played that much. And about the Meta Quest platform in general, I agree with that too. You know, it's hard to find good games anymore. Like I was just playing with my friend yesterday. We were trying to find a good game, but there was literally nothing that interested us. maybe we weren't looking hard enough, but that was it. Like we tried looking for a while. All the games weren't that good, and then we just played regular games on like a monitor or like games like Siege, like those like computer games. You know, computer video games are like TV games, stuff like that. Like games that you use like a controller, and you sit in front of a screen. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, and it's kind of sad because we spent so much time like a few years ago on VR, and we used to think, wow, this is going to be such a crazy thing in the future, but now it's starting to really slow down. And you know, we gotta blame Meta Horizons as well, because Meta is trying to push Meta Horizons so far, and Meta Horizons is not good. If you have played it before, it is not that good of a platform. The community is full of little kids, and I know I might be a little kid myself, and this might be friendly fire, but like, hear me out. It's full of toxic 8-year-olds. Look, I might be wrong, and you can comment about this, but it's full of toxic 8-year-olds, and you cannot change my mind. And the games on Meta Horizon aren't that good either. So, Meta is really trying to push this out, but like no one is really playing it. And to the prices of games. I agree with that too. Games are getting so expensive now. Like I've heard for the prices of GTA 6, it's going to be up to $100. But that's a console game. Like, that's not a VR game. But people just want to play free and fun games. And they're not giving these AAA titles that are worth the money a chance. So yeah, and speaking of AAA titles, there aren't really many AAA titles anymore. Many of these game companies are coming out with free games because that's what works. That's how their business becomes successful, because all these people will hop onto the game since it's free, and if it's good, they'll spend more and more time, and the game or the game studio will have in-game cosmetics, and that's how they make the money. So yeah, that's basically the overview of why VR is dying by BMF VR. But at the same time, we're not giving VR enough of a chance. It's only been like a decade since VR was just noticed. And VR right now, it could go so much further. Like at the same time, companies need time. They need so much time to put these games together. It's so hard to create a good VR game. So I think at the end of the day, we just need to give these companies time, okay? It's only been about 5 years since the MetaQuest 2 came out. So at the end of the day, just let them cook. All right, let them cook. Let them cook. Let them make a great game, and, and then VR will be great at the end of the day. So yeah, that's just my opinion. That's the people online's opinion, and I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit. So yeah. So I'm gonna be heading out. If you enjoyed the video, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not trying to be like some like standard YouTuber said, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe right now. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, I just want to talk about this a little bit. So yeah, so I'm gonna see you later. Bye.